第一次嚟新校舍啊，我諗係1986、87年啊。嗰陣都算係新佢起咗唔知5、6年啫嘛。啲 facility 啊，有泳池啊，有個咁嘅 track and field 啊，籃球場啊。咁咧你嗱老實講，呢啲咁嘅地方咧，大學就見到。中學就冇乜點見嘅，我未乜見過有咩中學好似出邊咁樣。OK， 大學就好多啊！大學我記得好多係咁樣嘅，即係俾你傾偈啊、食嘢啊、休息啊咁樣。但係中學就冇乜點見。咁啊，不過我發覺我都開始都40幾年啦，呢間學校。
Early, just as soon after I became principal around 2000, they started a program for all schools in Hong Kong called School Improvement Program. This was designed in such a way that a school could identify structures, buildings it needs, and then submit this to the EDB for approval and for funding. And there were two modes in which this could be done. The first mode was you submitted your project and the EDB with the ASD would handle the whole project for you and so on. The second mode was you get approval of the funding, but you can do the project on your own. You can hire your own architects and construction companies and so on. Now, Salle decided to go the second mode, right?
政府大概喺2000年嘅時候咧，就幫即係所有津校咧都會加建一啲設施嘅。咁就當時個團隊好強嘅。咁我哋有位同學叫 Eric Lee， 最早嗰個即係招標顧問個合約係佢幫我哋寫嘅。咁當然仲有好多其他師兄，譬如William Tong Patrick Shannon 陳國泰陳凡師兄Kenneth Wan 啲師兄同埋仲有一位師兄叫 Eric Pang 咧，就係即係一齊參與個工程嗰個設計同埋監督啦。咁就有我哋而家坐咗喺呢度呢個新翼啦。
The committee began to look at plans for the usage of the two wings, right? Then right away we began to ask the teachers what would be the priorities in the usage. The first priority that emerged was a new staff room because they were much too crowded or they were in separate places. So two new staff rooms were included. The second was that we had no proper facilities for practicing music. We did have a music room in the existing school, so the whole top floor was given over to music, to the storage of instruments and then to a rehearsal room and so on. So that was a tremendous benefit and has in fact contributed, I'm sure, a great deal to the spirit of the whole orchestra training together, or the whole music groups, right? Another big need at that time was computer rooms, because computers were becoming so fashionable, and then there were to be computer lessons. Students did not have mobile phones or BYOD in those days. Everybody went to computer rooms. So we set aside part of that, one of the wings, just for computer rooms. Then additional rooms just provided new spaces. For example, there was a new PTA centre. So the parents got a nice centre to have, right? And places like that. Then there was room for special classes where we had to have subdivided classes, for example, for the core subjects. There were small teaching rooms were available. So this was a big help in the quality of the school, yeah.
咁最大嘅分別咧，咁當然係即係學生享用嗰個設施多元化咗啦。咁譬如即係較早之前都參觀過佢哋有啲 STEM 嘅workshop 啦，係啦，咁同埋多少少唔同嗰啲課外活動嘅活動室咁樣嘅，咁即係對於學校嘅多元化發展嚟講，我覺得係更加會顧及到學生嘅需要啦。呢樣嘢係即係都時代都進步咗啦，係啦。咁我哋個年代嗰時唔係話冇呢啲活動，咁的而且確咁嗰時嘅條件就冇而家咁好啦，咁所以我覺得呢個 SIP program 係非常之有意義嘅，係啦。
That we enjoy very high facilities, but the biggest challenge now is that these facilities are over 40 years old and are getting old, and the maintenance is very, very high. And there are areas of the school like the air conditioning, the tiling all around the school, the roof which is leaking. There are many aspects of this school which were in the old school and which caused the old school to disappear. You know what I mean? You know, in other words, these are extremely expensive projects if you have to replace the whole aircon. Our government give a certain amount of support, but you know, the issue with schools like us is they will not fund above standard items. They only fund standard items.
俾少少即係不太科學嘅統計數據大家啊。咁我哋舊校咧係1932年即係建成嘅，就1977年開始拆卸，即係就用咗45年。咁我哋呢度新校咧係即係1979、1980年即係建成啦，1980年入伙啦。咁到而家其實已經係42年啦。咁如果同舊校比較咧，我哋仲有3年就到舊校拆卸嘅時間㗎啦。咁當然而家科技係唔同咗嘅，同埋而家即係多師兄弟幫手咧。咁理論上咧就我哋呢個校舍個壽命咧應該可以再長啲嘅。首先啦，即係一棟嘅樓宇嘅壽命啦，即係以前讀書都成日灌輸俾我哋咧，即係大概80至100年度啦，係啦。咁即係正如阿 Cap 師兄所講啦，咁我哋校舍嘅壽命咧，其實都已經過咗接近一半㗎啦，係啦。咁喺呢個過程之中咧，咁即係大嘅維修係真係需要咯，即係都唔係小修小補嗰啲啦，係啦。咁就都即係希望即係大家如果可以都幫多啲手啦，即係技術上支援又好，或者係財政上支援又好啦。咁即係對於學校嘅運作嚟講，我覺得呢樣嘢都非常之重要啦，係啦。
我諗老土啲講句咧，就真係有錢出錢，有力出力。咁雖然係好似好老土嘅一句啦，咁但係學校固然係需要有唔同嘅 funding 去做唔同嘅嘢啦。有力出力咧，其實如果你有專業知識，當然學校係好歡迎啲舊生翻嚟去幫唔同嘅 project。咁好似 KF 啊，好多嘅同學係做一啲工程類嘅嘢啦。咁但係其實除咗嗰樣嘢之外咧，其實嗰個頭先我講力其實係譬如我係好多機會喺學校做好多唔同活動咧，我係會留意到學校有啲咩嘅需要，或者係學生係有啲咩需要，而從而咧就去諗有啲乜嘢幫到佢哋。因為我自己都係一個運動員啦，成日都有機會翻嚟學校踢波或者去練田徑啦，亦都知道一個同學喺出邊運動緊，唔會帶住手錶，但係亦都要睇住時間幾時翻屋企。咁我哋就話：咦，冇一個鐘係好方便可以俾同學睇到，不如我哋去安裝一個大鐘俾啲同學啊，俾其他用學校設施嘅人咧都可以睇得到咯。咁所以就我哋同咗學校傾啦。咁當時係 Brother Steve 做校長啊，咁佢都覺得呢個係一個好好嘅提議啦，所以就佢其實係好落手落腳同我哋一齊去做呢個 project。咁由我哋自己出去揾出邊唔同嘅廠家去做呢個鐘啦，報咗唔同嘅價啦，甚至係嗰個鐘嘅字嘅大小個高矮咧，都預咗一大輪。因為究竟我哋而家放咗喺嗰個位，究竟要係24寸字啊，定36寸字啊，定係18寸字啊？呢個都係需要去籌組咗一段時間，直情做咗一個假嘅樣，跟住走去 canteen 嗰度望出嚟，睇下夠唔夠大，望唔望到，咁樣先去就到話24寸 OK 啦。我哋自己着手啲同學一齊去砌呢個 project 出嚟，就唔係話 俾咗嚿錢學校就去做啦咁樣。咁我哋自己親手落手落腳去報價，落手落去睇。咁其實呢樣嘢咧對學校咧都係一個方便，因為學校係就咁去睇見嗰樣嘢啱，去收咗佢咧就已經 OK。相反，如果佢係要自己做咧，佢可能係需要經過好多報價啦，好多嘅程序。咁我哋係幫學校去省卻到呢樣嘢，我哋落手落腳幫佢做埋，咁令到可以好方便，學校可以好快可以收到呢一個禮物咯。
咁我呢度想咁樣講，其實我屋企自己裝修我係冇幫手嘅，我俾晒我老婆搞嘅。咁咧，我老婆成日都鬧我嘅，就係話咧我屬喇沙嘅校舍係多過屬我屋企嘅。咁事實上的而且確係咁嘅，因為咧，譬如舉例即係1樓、2樓、3樓、4樓嗰啲，即係 IS lab 啊、Chem lab 啊、Physics lab、Chemistry lab， 我全部都即係翻新過晒。咁即係咧好似係自己屋企咁樣嘅，所以我都向即係所有師兄弟呼籲啦，呢個係你哋嘅家嚟嘅。
佢哋我哋依間咧當時起好嘅時候，佢最新㗎啦，亦都當時全香港學校最好嘅設備。喂 ，all weather running track、游水池、volleyball、squash court， 乜嘢都有，好緊要呢樣嘢。係因為個學校嗰個環境啊，個 campus 啊，可以俾到一個好適合教育去教學生。係細蚊仔長大成長，好緊要啊！其實個 space 好緊要。頭先同你講過咯，細蚊仔係要地方有 space 嚟走嘅。你唔好睇少呢樣嘢啊，因為佢嗰度孕育咗佢哋嗰個環境咧，係去幫助佢讀書嘅。咁我哋一路將學校嗰個即係配套啊，跟與時並進做得好啲，係我哋下一代一個同學咧。係咪 benefit 到咯？我哋啲班房要轉做 smart classroom 就係咁嘅原因咯。
Now the school always sets aside some reserves from its school income to subsidise these renewal. However, it's never enough, and we do need support for this project. When we really start moving on it, and we would of course be looking to, especially to old boys who are using this facility, that they will take personal responsibility to ensure that it continues as a very high quality facility, which they will have access to. But in doing that, they know that they are guaranteeing our students, often their own sons who are here, are having the best facilities they can find in Hong Kong at school level. So we do appeal for that support when in fact we launch it. And it is not always purely financial either, because we always rely upon old boys' expertise and their technical ability and qualifications to advise us, to help us, and so on. So old boys who feel that they can help in that way, that are in qualified in those areas, we welcome that type of support, in the planning, in the execution of the project, and so on.